What would I do if I was 15 again? Top three. Lift properly, eat properly, sleep. Big one, sleep. Sleep properly and sleep as much as possible. Because realistically, your teen years are when you should be sleeping the most. No matter what anyone else tells you, people tell you, oh yeah, bro, but like, I mean, it's your developmental stage. You should be resting the most, eating the most, obviously in a controlled amount. But you should be sleeping the most when you are during puberty, right? Why? Because you allow your body not only the rest that it needs, you give it the time in order for it to grow fully, to make you actually like big and strong. It's not a lie. I have there's a guy I know, will not name, but I mean, naturally genetically, I don't think he would have gotten super tall, but he never really. What I'm trying to say is he, I guess, stunted his growth a bit with bad sleeping habits and obviously, diet and everything. Although now he's back on his horse, he's trying to, work on himself, which I'm very proud of. But that is not the point. That is not the point of this video. The point of this video is to make you understand how imperative it is that, my viewers, I would hope, from 15 onwards, are focused on their sleep, health, and recovery, right? So what would I do if I was 15 again? I would, for sure, eat more protein, right? Within a certain limit, obviously. I'm not gonna eat 200 grams of protein per day if I am skinny. Although, more calories for sure. Obviously not too many, because otherwise I do get pudgy. Let's bring you closer so that you can see me better. Okay. Then, eat more protein, eat more calories in general, in a controlled amount, eat clean. Do not go through the whole bulk, cut, bulk. I don't know what to do. Probably stick to a body recomp where you eat as many calories as you burn, right? Being base metabolic rate, which is basically what you burn in a day, just sitting on your ass, doing fucking nothing. Like if you were to lie in bed and just, be alive, this is how much you would burn. Typically, for the average person, around 1.5 calories. 1.5k calories. Sorry. Typically though, for like average size, average build, it really does depend on your height and weight. Let's leave it at that. Then, also, additionally, so base metabolic rate, and on top of that, your activity, right? You do not want to undereat, and you do not want to overeat. Eat maybe at a slight surplus, 200, 300 calories. Maybe push it up to 400 maybe, who knows? Whatever works for you, because it depends where you're starting off from. But in my personal opinion, I highly believe that if you eat 200 to 300 calories more, that is like a safe place to be at, especially if you're really dialed in on tracking your calories, tracking your activity, and, going hard in the gym, walking, doing your steps, whatever. All that stuff. Why? Because when you are training, obviously, calories in, calories out. You don't want to burn too much that you are you don't have enough fuel for you to, let's say, power your muscles as well as power your recovery. But at the same time, you don't want to have too much, because then that just turns into fat, and then that's not good. That's not the goal that we're going for. The goal that we're going for is to get bigger and really, make use of the puberty, because I mean, during that stage where you're like 15, 16, is when young men usually have their highest, well, not highest, but their highest spike in testosterone, right? You've gone, I don't know, 13 years with, minimal spikes, and then boom, now suddenly you've got hair growing and whatnot, right? So, what does this mean? This means that, if I were to be 15 again, I would make use of this completely. It's basically natural steroid. It's your building blocks, right? You're setting yourself up for greatness. What you're doing is you're setting yourself up for absolute greatness. Why? Because using that testosterone spike that you get when you are 15, 16 is essential to how much muscle you're actually going to build within that part of your life, right? And it's pretty easy. You just have to do the work. It is very straightforward. Eat enough protein, eat enough calories, don't binge eat, train hard, train correctly with correct form. Ideally, you have someone, more experienced that's with you. If you don't, educate yourself, listen to what I have to say, follow a training style, follow someone you look up to, and just do it. Why? Because all of this at the same time will set you up for absolute greatness. You have no idea the trajectory that you're going to be following, especially if you're following what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is, you're here, you start off here. In these 2 years that you, from 15 to 17, all you're going to be doing is going up. If you follow this exact blueprint, you cannot fail. You are destined to win. Why? Because you, first of all, are using your natural testosterone production, your natural hormonal spikes to your advantage, to your absolute advantage, right? Where it's not just, you grow a bit in height, whatever, you look a bit more manly, whatever. No, by doing all of this and eating correctly and training correctly and essentially maximizing all the good parts, right? You're essentially going to be going from here to here in 2 years. That is crazy. You're going to look amazing. You're going to have broader shoulders. You're going to be bigger. You're going to, you're going to just be great. I don't know how much to stress this. These 2 years that you have are probably the most valuable years of your puberty, because you have such natural, free testosterone production. You have to use it to the best of your advantage. And I think another thing that I mentioned at the start of the video, your recovery is also just as important. Why? Because if you're exerting yourself 4 to 5 times a week, completely assuming that you're training to failure, assuming that you're eating correctly and everything, if you don't sleep enough, or if you don't sleep correctly, all of that progress is basically hindered, right? It's like putting the brakes on it. Why? Because you see, when you sleep, that is when your muscles repair. That is when your body says, okay, time to put that food and protein and whatever the fuck you ate during the day to good use, right? Time to put all of that into good recovery. There's no such thing as bad recovery. It's just your approach, right? And if your approach sucks, your recovery is going to suck. So what I'm trying to say is sleep earlier, wake up, sleep at least 8.5 hours. At least. I don't know, for me, that works the best. I feel the most refreshed at 8.5 hours. Every sleep cycle is an hour and a half, where you go from rapid eye movement to deep sleep, and then I think rapid eye movement again. Anyway, besides the point is you want to maximize your deep sleep, because when you have your deep sleep is when you are maximizing your recovery, right? So it is imperative that you focus on these things. It is imperative that you're focusing on your recovery, your diet, and your training. Without this, you are essentially wasting these really good years that you have, where it's basically free. It's a God-given gift that you are able to produce this much testosterone in such a short amount of time, and you're just basically flushing it down the drain if you are not following what I'm saying. You have to put it to your absolute best use in order for you to fully maximize these gains these potential gains, right? You have to grasp it, you have to grab it. You have to grab the opportunity and basically push as hard as possible. Also within the scope of, you're still a teenager, you can go out and enjoy and have fun, but don't overindulge. There's limits. Always keep your limits. Don't overindulge. Don't always stay on your phone late at night. Don't always play late at night. Focus on your sleep. Prioritize your sleep. Prioritize your health. Because that is what's gonna take you further than fucking everyone else. Good night. God bless you.